Hey, on this episode of What Did John Buy? Look at this gem right here. Now, a smart guy puts the helper to work, even wearing the proper attire too. So check out her shirt. Coolest shirts ever. You guys get your own on the Final Village Garage site there. Get your own guy to save them birds, even though this is a GTO. Who figured? Anyway, get back to work. Now, I know it's kind of funny to have a bird intro and wearing a Firebird shirt, and you happen to see what here behind me, it appears to be 1969 Le Mans, potentially a GTO, right? Well, it's going to probably tell you it's going to be a GTO. It's definitely, but there are a few more things about this car. It's really, really special. And I'm about to show you all about that here just the same, but I picked it up in Southern State from here, a location that we're not going to disclose. End result, super happy. A YouTube subscriber led me to this car to find it. Long story short, it was in a storage unit. Showed me some pictures of it several months ago. We're kind of debating what it could be. He went ahead and did some paperwork on it and found out that PHS stuff, man, that stuff is awesome, great, worth every dollar to find out what you really have here, because a lot of people may have passed this bad boy up, but not me, because, well, I like a challenge, and this thing is a total hot mess, but has loads of potential. Now imagine walking into a storage unit, finding this car kind of covered with parts and everything just kind of laying on top of it. And you walk inside, and the first thing you actually do is go and check out the VIN number and the dash. Now, of course, I'm not going to show you the whole VIN because, well, there's a reason for that. But the most important part is 242 right there. And I'm going to tell you the last numbers are 333. 242 ensures us that we have a GTO. That's a definite really cool thing. And one next thing we actually did while you're still screwing around there in that storage unit is you walk around to the front of the engine block and check out the number on the block itself. And storage unit, just to kind of find out the last three on the engine block is just the same as the VIN, 333. And the other cool detail here, YZ, that means Ram Air 3 automatic 400. Ooh, that's special. Now, unfortunately, we have the wrong heads. Number 12. This would be great if you had a 1970 GTO. So I need to find some number 48 heads for that. So anyone could help me out with that? Hey, we'd definitely appreciate that without breaking the bank on shipping, because shipping would probably outcost the actual price of some heads. But this is an early production date car. We're talking February, and even the engine block itself date code super early, as you can tell there, 68. So now the other thing that's really cool about this car, I love that carousel red, orange, whatever color you want to call it. And if you look at the car, underneath everything, it's the carousel red. Now it looks like it got painted a burgundy color and then a silver color. And this thing sat in the desert in California. Now what's that mean for us folks here in Indiana? That means little to no rust on this bad boy. Now she does look a little sad, but look inside the wheel wells. Some more of that carousel red stuff going on. But here's what we don't see: rust holes. No rust holes. It looks super nice. Now the paint has definitely seen better days. It's very sun-baked and scorched, but it's all here. Now I do have a few small holes here in the rear window channel, but I know a guy. He can fix that up really right quick. And little holes on that side. Now the only really bad thing about the body that I found so far is this driver's side quarter panel was replaced somewhere in the life of this car. It was an original GM stamping, but now they sectioned it in a little less than stellar. I don't think I would have done it this way, but I understand the why. It's a whole lot less welding as opposed to drilling out spot welds. Well, okay, but that's just a little sloppy to me. I think we can do better. And they even just stacked inner fender well, original quarter panel. So not the best installation, but definitely repairable. That's the worst thing that I found on the body. And when they did all the filler work, definitely didn't prep this thing properly. You see a lot of corrosion building up underneath us. So something we can fix up. Interior of the car, parchment. Ooh, nice setup, right? Now I've got a bumper, same thing, pretty sun-baked. Dash is pretty roached. I don't have the cluster, but it still has the clock. And I'm almost certain that's a Firebird radio. I need to check the length of the buttons, but this is the correct steering wheel for this car. But probably the most important thing here, getting ready to have right here, is some really cool paperwork. And look at this, masking tape again. You guys know how much I love masking tape, especially this green crappy stuff. 333. That's the same last bit of my VIN, but you come right down here, bam, that's the most important piece of this whole puzzle right now. So we technically have a turbo 400 transmission hiding underneath this, that's what it should have. I have a radio, which I don't think that's a GTO radio. I'm going to dig into that. Don't have the seat belts. I do have the clock, but don't have the rally gauges. Yep, power disc brake. All looks pretty good. We have the Judge's package, and then let's see what else we have here. Safety track around. I need to jack out the back of this thing and see if that still works or not. And the A still has the remote mirror still on the car, so that's an added bonus. Have the console still in there, power steering, and the glass. Now, unfortunately, the passenger side glass has been broken out of this car, but you know, we can get glass and make it go again. Now, I do have a hood for it. I have a hood that has a hood tack hole in it, and it is cut out for ram air. If I flip this thing over, you'll see it's all notched out for ram air pans. So I have to believe this to be an original 1969 hood with a hood tack opening, but this car did not have a hood tack, unfortunately. Now, another little fun fact for you here out there in the YouTube world, because I'm going to give up that car, which looks beautiful and fantastic, for this bad boy right here, because that is just a Le Mans painted up like a GTO Judge. Basically, essentially, sort of the same car, depending on who you talk to, but to me, it's been that way for 20 years. It's been a great car, but I'm going to trade up to the real deal. So while I'm doing so, we did find a spoiler in the storage unit with all the parts. This is a repop spoiler, an original. So I'm going to give you some clues on what to look for, but an original is made out of fiberglass, but mostly a clearish resin covering it up quite deeply. So you don't really see a whole lot of fibers, but you'll see that this has a stud and this is a bolt. So your repop one, the pedestals actually bolt to the spoiler body. And an original one has a little weep hole right here in the center. No weep hole. And it's really kind of hard to get in the camera, but I'll try to get it just right here. I can really kind of see it. This is the bottom side of the spoiler, but this has got more of a slope or arch to it. A lot thicker. If I were to take a caliper and reach in here and measure the thickness, this bad boy is a whole lot thicker than this. This one's really thin and flat. This is kind of round and bulbous or big. So something to keep in mind if you're trying to figure out if you got a real, you want to judge if you got a Judge spoiler, check for the hole. You won't be able to check for this, but the only visual telltale you have is the hole and kind of the thickness of the spoiler. But even if you don't have them side by side, you really can't see it. But sitting them side by side, I can definitely tell. And even the original one, a lot smoother. This is kind of wavy. So a little fun fact there for you. So basically what you see here behind me now is a numbers matching GTO Judge. Early production date. I don't know how to tell if it's one of the first 2000. I've never really messed with numbers matching or a lot of that stuff in my life. I like just to build cars, build them nice, put them back on the road. So this would be an interesting challenge in addition to our channel here at the Vinyl Village Garage. We're going to do a really nice original style restoration for the Judge. Now, of course, kind of up to you what you guys think. You be the judge. Should I keep this one or keep that one? Which one should I sell? Anyway, you guys let me know, just saying, but I'll keep you posted on the outcome of this car, what's going to happen to it. And I definitely appreciate the folks that pointed this out to me, led me to this wonderful piece of treasure, and it's going to be a fantastic addition to my Pontiac collection, and I can't wait to get started on it, and I hope to see you guys then.